Next up, it's the main event. It's going to be loud. It's going to be exciting. It's Ryan the Real Deal Ford against Robert the Butcher Berridge.
He took a very short notice opportunity to challenge Dimitri Bivol for the WBO title. He lost that by TKO, but it was a short notice opportunity. Most recently, he's had a unanimous points decision over the very skillful Adrian Tahir and a unanimous decision over Sam Rapira. He's a come forward, two-fisted punch-up with an intimidating physical presence. And now he too would like to add the UBO light heavyweight strap to his collection. Chad, you've seen this guy fight a couple of times, and he's a bit of a brute, really. Really likes to get on the inside and go to work and break you down.
I will now hand you over to the main man in the middle, Mr. Gerald Tumuldown from the Philippines, for the fight instructions.
Robbie Berridge, he has the experience advantage. Chad, he's going to need a fair bit of work rate to keep Ryan Ford off him, because Ford will continuously walk forward, and he's very relentless.
He's relentless. But Berridge has a lot of power.
Ford trying to get on the inside. He wants to go to work. Berridge trying to double up on his lead hand. He's been around a long time, Robbie Berridge. Been in with some very, very good fighters. Ford, he's been quite cautious early. Gloves up high. Berridge is touching him with the double jab in the left hand. But Ford just getting a feel for it. Light heavyweight bout. We've already seen a couple of superb light heavyweight bouts this evening. Vasko Kovacic, the trainer of Berridge, calling for some body work. And again, there's a noticeable dropping of pace. There's a nice little counter left hand from Berridge. Noticeable dropping of pace from the lighter weights, but the risks are far greater with the power that these boys carry. Real battle for strength. Two rutting bulls on the inside. Little counter left hand again, and that's something he throws a lot. You land the right hand on Berridge and expect the left hand to come back.
You can tell by Ryan Ford's very high and tight defence, he's got a lot of respect for Berridge's punching power.
I've seen Berridge sharper than this. He looks a little bit flat early. But as you can see, he knows a few tricks. Ford missing with the uppercut there, catching Berridge rolling in. Both boys missing with shots at the moment.
Bit of a filling out process at present.
Berridge again slipping the right hand, looking to drop that left hand over the top. Ford being very patient, more patient than I've seen him in his past fights. Good body shot there from Berridge, firing the right hand into the spleen side. Referee for this bout, Gerald Nunez once again. And there's that little counter left hand that Berridge throws after the right hand. Well, interesting round.
Hard to score.
All right, we're underway in the second round. Robbie Berridge coming out of the blue corner, the Kiwi in the short shorts. Ryan Ford, the Canadian fighter. And he has the black shorts with the white trim. There's Berridge, lands a good stiff left hand there. Ford took it on the gloves. Gosh, he's very well built. He hasn't really fired a lot in anger, though, so far. Berridge has done most of the work in terms of being the aggressor.
Ford's a cool customer. He's very disciplined. He's figuring the situation out. He's still got that nice tight defence.
Yeah, he's not over-pressing himself. This corner's calling for the body, but Berridge going down there himself. They're cool, don't stand up. They don't want him tall at all in line for that straight left hand. And Berridge had obviously heard that because he adjusted, went with the uppercut there. It was taken on the gloves, but it's a reminder, pay attention at all times. Berridge using his lead hand for good control there. Berridge missed with his left hand. Both boys bobbing under. Ford's now trying to press the advantage a little more, but he just can't quite land at the moment. He's still working out the southpaw. Berridge, good body shots on both sides. Straight right went close from Ford. Again, Berridge just changing angles in a couple of ways.
He's making it difficult for Ryan Ford at the moment, Berridge. He's moving around, and Ryan's finding it a little bit difficult to find the mark at the present time.
Ford for the first time landed a couple of clean shots. He landed a decent right hand. He's trying to land the left hook to stop Berridge. That's a nice body shot from Ford. Nice punch variation there, going with the uppercut off the body shot. It's an unorthodox shot, but it's one that's worked well for him so far. Well, round two out of the way. Berridge is probably up a couple of rounds. Let's see if Ford just puts his foot on the accelerator and changes gear in this round. This is the third of 12. Ryan Ford looking for that straight right hand. Digs the right hand to the body. Let's see a left hook coming off of that. Berridge with that right uppercut, straight left hand. That's a trademark punch that he does throw. Straight left from Berridge again. It doesn't seem like he's a big puncher, Robert Berridge, when you listen to them land. But if you talk to anyone he's fought, they'll tell you he's got very heavy hands.
Definitely.
You see there that shot where the right hand lands, Berridge almost always comes back with the left hand.
Berridge has been in with some extremely big punches too. He's used to taking some punches.
His conditioning is usually impeccable. Ryan Ford just struggling to get the lead hand working too. Berridge is controlling that distance with the lead. Oh, a little slip there from Robbie Berridge. Somersault in the corner. Let's see if... Nice head movement there from Berridge going under the right hand. Both boys, they know what's coming. They're well drilled. Exchange of punches there. We've seen a couple of fights tonight, Chad, where they've had to solve the southpaw riddle. It's not always easy.
Definitely. I know from my own experience, when I was fighting, I found southpaws extremely difficult to fight. And I think Ryan's finding that right now. But, I mean, his defence is good. I'm impressed with Ryan's defence. He's protecting himself very well. And he's walking forward.
The crowd definitely in favour of the Canadian fighter. He's starting to just get a bit closer with that right uppercut to the body. It is a punch that works on the southpaws.
I think you'll find when Ryan does get inside, when he finally works his way in and unloads, you'll see some really nice work inside by Ryan Ford.
Berridge for the first time, pinned against the ropes. Working his way out off the jab. That's a big shot from Ryan Ford. It was taken on the gloves, but it was enough to knock Berridge back into the ropes. Much closer round. It's that one in favour of Ford.
Great action there in part one. Time to go for a short break. When we return, we continue with the roar of Singapore 2.
He first broke onto the Australian scene with that victory over Kerry Foley, and Kerry Foley was riding high at the time, and everyone was expecting him to wipe the floor with Berridge as he lands a right hook. This is round number 4. Ford trying to get in there, trying to trap him with the left hook. Just needs to step across slightly more with his left hand, left leg rather. You can see he's just overbalancing and squaring up in his stance at times. Left hook just landed on the temple of Berridge. It's a shot that will work well if Ford chooses to throw it. Plenty of torque coming from the corners. Ford's just slightly off with his right hand as Berridge turns. Chad, he just needs to get that left hook around, just like that. Just
nice punches by Ford.
That was a good option for him. Just changing the angle and putting him onto the right hand. Nunez, referees Nunez getting in there. Concentration etched on the faces of both fighters. Berridge landing a left hand, catching Ford coming in, but Ford answers back. Now Ford lands the shot.
Good shot.
The crowd's coming to life here. It's interesting in this fight, it just feels like Ford is the one who's threatening a big shot.
Yeah, you sense it, he's
there's a big right
shot.
hand counter. Robbie Berridge is feeling that one right on the button. And it was off a left hand that Berridge landed. Now Ryan Ford starting to edge forward. It's the short right hook, the chopping right hand that seems to be working the trick for Ford.
One thing about Ford, he's relentless, and he's just going to keep coming and working, and he lands another big shot.
And luckily for Berridge, part of that was taken on the shoulder. But very strong from Ryan Ford. Just caught Berridge napping, changing angles now. Ford must now feel like he's starting to find his rhythm. That's another round for Ford. Probably even Stevens on the judges' cards now. And the trepidation of the power of Berridge isn't as intimidating now. He's had a couple of them.
It's very impressive with Ryan Ford. Mike, every time he throws a shot, his hands are straight back to his chin. He's a very tight defence.
Yeah, Berridge just not quite getting his timing right with his left hand. It's the speed more than anything. There's that right hook counter again. He's going under the left hand and coming back with the right hook counter. Berridge needs to bob after he throws his left hand, because that's the shot that Ford is catching him with. That was better defensively from Berridge. Ford looking for that counter right hand. It's not so much the straight one that is landing for him, it's the hooking right hand. Very, very physically strong too. Able to bully Berridge backwards.
He's fighting with confidence now.
Heavy jab. Just been a change in the tempo of the fight now. His corner's calling for him to get the foot out, meaning try and get your foot on the outside. Don't allow Berridge the shorter route. Some unorthodox stuff going on in the clinch, but it's happening on both sides. That was a little counter left hook from Berridge. Just a reminder for Ford, just to be careful. Ford's just transitioning himself at times. He's switching from southpaw to orthodox. Good left hook lands by Ford. Both boys going underneath the respective left and right hands. The sharpness just appears to have gone out of Berridge's shots, and the acceleration seems to be in Ford's shots.
He's coming forward very well now, Ford. Oh, nice shot by Ryan Ford.
Was taken on the gloves, but you can hear just the power differential. Berridge needs to get back on his bike, working the lead hand, the southpaw jab. Ford's working very well with his counter right hand. He still needs to work his left hand a little more as well.
One thing about Ford, he's a 12-round fighter.
Ford just stalking. Berridge just lacking a little snap in his punches. Ford lands a nice quick right hand and a stinging body shot with the right hand. Chopping away Ford. He knows that every little bit counts. Saps the energy, empties the tank. There's a leaping southpaw right hook from Ryan Ford. The unorthodoxy works for a southpaw. The check hook to the ribs, so you don't see that often. Good head work from Ryan Ford going underneath the left hand. Berridge would do well occasionally to change that up to an uppercut. Ford again, when he makes him miss, wants to make him pay with a counter shot. There's a head clash there. Berridge is complaining about the clash. Cut coming outside of the right eye. Well, we have gone past the fourth round, so we'll go to the scorecards. Let's see if Berridge ups his intensity now, knowing that that cut's in place. Berridge now starting to work his lead hand a little more. Good defense from Ryan Ford as well. He's kept his composure throughout. It's unorthodox stuff from Ryan Ford. I think he looks far better with the high guard than he does with the Philly shell. A lot of blood coming out of the eye of Robert Berridge.
That's in a bad place, that cut, Mike. That's right above the eye.
And it'll bleed into the eye, stop his vision. It's also his lead side as well. So it's vulnerable to the left jab or the left hook.
I think Ryan Ford's going to try and target that area.
Oh, Berridge almost walked into that right hand. Well, that's a round you've got to give to Berridge. Certainly landed more in that round. Let's see. Nice straight right there from Ryan Ford. Berridge is landing that left hand. He's not necessarily landing it with great authority, but he's landing it nevertheless.
Yeah, it is getting through.
And Ryan Ford's defense may make it seem as if Berridge doesn't necessarily have a lot of pop in it, but his knockout record would beg to differ.
I'm very impressed with Ford's tight defence tonight. They've obviously done a lot of research on Berridge and structured their game plan around his power, and it's working at the moment.
Yeah, he just landed a nice little tight left hook on the inside. But it's another ebb and flow fight, though. Berridge changing the angle nicely there. As long as he gets his foot on the outside, Ford hasn't been able to land that right hook that he's thrown so well. But when Berridge pauses in the pocket, that's when the right hand comes.
Definitely not one-way traffic. It's Ford comes on and Berridge will come back, and it's both boys are in the fight.
Ford has switched to southpaw now. He's looking to land that right hook of his. Good head movement from Berridge. And again, Ford stays at southpaw, trying to land the right hook. Switches again. Unorthodox punches. Berridge is another one who I'd like to see him just tip around the left hook around the glove rather than always straight. There's a short little turnover straight left hand off the body shot. Ford's starting to come on now. He's doubling up on his right hand, Chad.
Yeah, definitely. Ryan Ford, I think he's going to come forward and try and break Berridge down in these later rounds.
This Berridge, if he takes half a pace step, I'm pretty certain he can time Ford if Ford keeps on walking in like that. He needs to be cautious himself.
As you stated earlier, Berridge is a guy that he seems to hold his power throughout the fight. Even though he's tired, he still seems to have that heavy punch later in the rounds.
Well, we've seen him in several brutal battles over the years. He's a bit obviously longer in the tooth these days. So his resilience, question always comes with age. But Ryan Ford certainly knows he's in a fight. Berridge looking for that left hand again. Ford landing a couple of left hooks. Well, halfway through the bout, just over halfway.
I think they're looking at a stoppage here due to the cut.
Well, doctor has called a halt to the fight. Very disappointing.
Red corner, Ryan, the real deal, Ford!
Well, it had to be marginal. Could have gone either way, but Ryan Ford.
I just want to say, everybody here in Singapore, thank you for the support. Thank you for supporting Scott Patrick and Ringstar. I'm telling you, we're bringing boxing to a whole nother level here. You hear the song, Scott's getting it done. He's working hard. Every day I get a hold of this guy on Facebook. He's stressed out to make sure that tonight's show was exactly what it was. You know, he brought the real deal to Singapore, and you guys got to keep coming out, and Scott's going to keep making bigger fights. I'm going to keep fighting bigger fights, and I think in August, I want that IBO title.